This is why women don't find time to eat or drink water. This is why I'm an addict. These children. He is fine. Slight panic. If you were on the live this morning, and heard the screaming, I apologize. Oh, it's not funny, but literally, if I don't laugh, I will cry. More cereal. Okay, 1 minute. I am doing this live. That is it. You just wait here. I'm gonna give this spiritual message if it takes me a freaking hour. Okay? I'm back. I don't know who's here. Hello, welcome back. If you heard the screaming, this is what happened. And this is what I didn't know happened when I went out there. First, I need to start off with saying that Cutler is very dramatic. Yesterday, he cried because Troy tapped him on the head and said, "Get going," or something. And then I had a whole 15-minute conversation with him while he cried, and I tried not to laugh at him because he was trying to talk about how Troy hurt his feelings, and I was trying to tell him, well, you need to tell your dad when he hurts your feelings, and blah, blah, blah. So Cutler cries a lot. And it's okay, because he's a Gemini, and we validate those feelings, and we allow him to be able to share his emotions. So him crying and screaming is not like, it's not a big deal. But that's why my first reaction was, is it real? So I deleted that live. Because to me as a mom, is that a real cry? Is that a real one? Or is this like a Connor hurt my feelings kind of cry? I went out there and he's just screaming and he says his ear hurts, and I'm like, well, does it hurt because of earwax? And he's like, yes. And I was like, okay, we'll put you in the tub. And then I can clean out your ear, because that's how you clean out your ear. You put them in the tub so that their ear wax can get soft, and then you can use a rag and flush that way, or you can get a Q-tip and flush that way. So I am getting him undressed all while my live is going and putting him in a tub. That's why you heard the water running, because I'm just thinking his earwax is bothering him and he's being dramatic about his earwax, which is fine. Earwax does suck. Sorry. And then I get him into the tub, and then he tells me something about a Q-tip. I'm like, what? You used a Q-tip? This is when my heart starts racing, because doctors already hate Q-tips. They already hate them. They already think poorly about Q-tips. They, like, every doctor I've ever worked for gets really irritated about Q-tips. So I'm like, you use a Q-tip? And he's like, yes. I was like, tell me what you did. Tell me what you did. And he said, I put the Q-tip in my ear, and then I reached to grab another Q-tip, but I slammed my ear into the counter. Like, I slammed and then the Q-tip went in my ear, and then I pulled it out, and I was like, oh my God. And so then I'm just panicking a little bit inside as I'm trying to keep him calm. And then I turn his face towards his other, because the ear I'm facing while he's sitting in the tub that I'm pouring looks fine. I turn his face, and the other one's pouring. It's pouring down his face. I'm like, oh my God, get out of the tub. So I'm frantically drying him, shoving clothes on him. And then I ran in here and shut off the live and ran downstairs, stole Connor's phone from him, got him in some shorts, and was like, we've got to go. I tried to call Troy. Troy's usually in the shop on Mondays and Thursdays, I think. So that they don't take their phones into the shop, because the shop is where they do a lot of the heavy duty sledgehammering, welding. Like they are working their butts off in the shop usually. So I tried to call him, and I knew he was in the shop, and he didn't answer, and I was like, it's fine. I'm not waiting for him. Like, this is bleeding. I put him in the car. Crystal said she tried to call Matt. Matt was in an appointment. We didn't even try to call Danielle. I was like, I'm just gone. I have got to go. And his eardrum is not ruptured, which, thank the Lord. He did whisper to him a bunch and check to see if he could still hear, and he can still hear. I just gave him some ibuprofen. We could go see an ENT, but I think that what happened is, like, he reached up. When he came up, the Q-tip pushed down, so then it's just like in the canal area that he cut, that soft skin, and his eardrum's intact, and I just need to keep an eye on it. It is not funny, but to me, like, I just have to find the humor in stuff, okay? This has been a really hard summer. It's been a really hard summer. Like, and he cannot go swimming again for another week. He already has been unable to swim for a month because of his cast. And now he's been in the alligator pool for 2 days. And now he cannot he cannot go swimming in the pool. Like, he was asking this morning when I was gonna fill it up. And he can't swim in it again for another week. School is almost started, and this kid has gotten to do no swimming. And he is a fish. Like, he loves the water. Like, I don't know. Laugh crying. It's too much. Watermelon drink. I'm doing this live regardless. They are finding things for me to do. I did go to the Walmart last night. So they've got lots of refilled snacks. Here he goes. Did you want to say hi to the people? Hi, people. Hi, people. Okay. I'm leaving the door cracked because nobody can be trusted. Nobody can be trusted. Okay? And they're at least in shorts. I am so ready for school. Everybody thinks it's the autistic child, but once they get to know me and they're around me and my children for an extended period of time, they know it's freaking Cutler. It is Cutler. It is that second born child. He's a hellion. He doesn't sit still. He doesn't listen. He's nonstop moving. He doesn't take good care of his body. Like, he's always, like, his brain is always going. Like, if you want to think, you do not want to be around Cutler, because he's constantly asking and doing, and it's too much. It's freaking too much. I'm tapped out. I need them in school. Okay. Anyways, he's fine. I'm going to keep an eye on him. You can get an otoscope on Amazon yourself, and it has little tips, and I really like that if you have young kids, because you see the doctor look in the ear. You can Google what the picture of an eardrum looks like. You obviously don't want to shove the scope straight back into somebody's ear. You want to be really delicate. You lift up, out, and you look in their ear. You just put it in until you can see a little bit. You just want to see that pearly in the back. It kind of looks like a pearl. And that's their eardrum. That's their eardrum. And I have my own otoscope because I like to, when they say that their ears are bothering them, I like to look to see if it's wax or if there's like redness around their eardrum that tells me that they might have an infection coming. So I did not pull that out when his ear was gushing because I was like, I am not looking at that. I thought for sure he ripped. I thought for sure it went straight back. I thought for sure it was just busted completely open. There is not a lot you can do for an eardrum that is ruptured or has a hole. Like, you literally have to just, it takes time. And you can lose hearing. Like, he could have seriously... It's fine. It's fine. Maybe he's just trying to reset my fight or flight system because I don't get scared. Yeah. Lock up your Q-tips. I don't get scared at normal things or when people are having disagreements or when stuff starts getting broken, or like, I just don't get scared because of the things that I've seen and been through from a child up. But like, when it comes to my children, like the panic, the adrenaline, like maybe the bright light of this is that they're resetting my fight or flight and I'm gonna become more cortisol balanced. We'll go with that. Okay. Oh my God, not chocolate. Okay, today is August 11th. Healing needs trust. Only time heals, and even when time passes, we are not always healed in the way that we hoped to be. However, we will be healed in the way we need to be. Trust that you will be okay, even if being okay today looks different than it did before. Healing needs trust. So healing is not something that we do the same as everybody else. It's not like something you can get a book on and then you can follow it and everybody's going to go through the same path and the same healing process. Healing is very different for everybody. So being able to trust the process of working on yourself and getting to a point of healing can be difficult. It's really hard to surrender to the emotions and the traumas and the things that you're having. So trust in the timing and trust in your healing path, and know that there's lots of layers. We talk about the layers in the onion for your healing. Like, there's emotional, there's physical, there's spiritual. Right now, Cutler is adding physical traumas to his onion. He has added a broken arm, and then he has added almost ruptured eardrum. So he's added trauma with falling off a bed, and he has added trauma with Q-tips. Like, oh, that child. Oh, that child. It's fine. Trust the pauses. Trust your body. Trust that what's leaving is no longer needed and what's coming will meet you with love. So there is a lot of things that are stepping away from your life. And I know that a lot of those things can be difficult. It can be people. It can be jobs. It can be the comfort of certain things. Like, change is not something that we find that is very comfortable or very healing in the moment, but when you look back on changes that happen, the changes were definitely needed. breathe, you guys. And then I was going to share the story of the bamboo and the gardener. Like, this was all stuff I had prepared before the chaos. So this is a story about trusting, and then we're going to relate it to our healing. So the bamboo and the gardener. There was once a gardener who planted a rare bamboo seed. He watered it every day, tended the soil, cleared weeds, and waited. So this is like us. Are you watering? Are you feeding yourself? Are you journaling? Are you taking time for yourself each day? Are you tending your soil? Are you building your foundation? What are you doing? But for the first year, he saw nothing. For the second year, he saw nothing. For the third year, he still saw nothing. People told him to give up. That is a lot of work. Like, he is out there tending and always working in this garden, and nothing is happening. They said that it was dead, that it was wasting his time, but the gardener trusted the process. He knew what he had planted. He knew it wasn't broken. It was just unseen. Trust. He couldn't see it, but he was trusting. Then on the 5th year, the bamboo broke through the soil, and in just 6 weeks, it grew over 80 feet tall. It hadn't been doing nothing at that time. It had been growing roots, deep, unseen, powerful roots to support what was coming. Healing is often like that. We can't always see progress. We question ourselves. We wonder if we're doing it wrong, but healing is like bamboo. Asks us to trust, to keep showing up even when it's invisible, because growth is happening beneath the surface. Trauma recovery often feels exactly like that: invisible, frustrating, slow, and deeply internal. Here's how you can relate it to your trauma. When we've been through trauma, especially deep, complex, or long-term trauma, the healing doesn't always look like what we expect. It's not loud, it's not instant, and it's rarely linear. Trauma disconnects us from our bodies and our instincts. It creates survival patterns that take time to unravel, and it teaches us that the world isn't safe, and so healing asks us to relearn trust. All of those things are really, really difficult. For a long time, it can look like nothing is happening when you're working on your trauma. But you've been doing the work, therapy, journaling, spiritual practices, but you're still tired, still reactive, and still doubting. People might not understand why you're still stuck. They might wonder, and you might even wonder, why am I not further along? But what really happens is you're building the roots. You're building that foundation that you didn't have. You're growing your nervous system, and you're learning to trust yourself. If that's Troy, I would be really thankful. My nervous system needs a break. If you've survived trauma, your healing might not be visible on the surface, but every time you choose not to shut down, every time you breathe through a trigger instead of reacting, every time you speak your truth or rest when you used to push, that's root work. And when the time is right, you grow fast. You rise like bamboo, but not because it's sudden, but because you trusted what was building underneath. So I know that if I'm struggling, you guys are struggling, because, not to toot my own horn, but I am super sensitive to energies and stuff. So if the earth and the energies are making me rebuild and trust and work on my healing, then it is definitely shaking your guys' world too. So we have to trust and put in the work every day to make sure that we're doing self-care. To make sure that we're not just hiding from our traumas, that we're working on our triggers, that we're finding the things that we need to work on as growing ourselves emotionally, spiritually, physically, that we're nourishing our bodies, that we're getting enough rest, that we're building that foundation, that we're securing our roots so that when stuff happens and comes up, we're able to better cope with it. I don't know. And we're still getting back up on the horse. Like, I really could have let I really could have let this ruin my whole day, but I'm not going to let it ruin my whole day. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go straighten up the house. I'm going to finish up the laundry. I'm going to think about what I was going to cook for dinner, because now I don't know what I was going to do because my morning got screwed up. And then I'm going to prepare for my energy healing session I have at 4. And it's all going to be fine, because I'm going to keep pushing, keep posting, and keep working on myself. I'm making sure that I'm meditating. I do have my Vanadinite crystal that I've been using this month. I'm doing all the things. Danielle said I needed to sage or Palo Santo Cutler because he's a mess. And maybe I'll do that later too. I don't know. But I love you guys. And I hope you have a beautiful day. And I hope you realize that you guys are like the bamboo too. And that you've planted those seeds of healing. And that you are growing even though you don't see the progress yet. There are roots underneath that are being made. You are securing your foundation. You are helping yourself get through those traumas by coping, by finding the ways that you need for healing. Don't compare yourself to other people if you're seeing them progress and you're not progressing. You're still doing stuff under the surface. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.